I guess the very first thing is how you're gonna say that Visa is not a credit card company, but a technology company, right?
Exactly.
I heard of you guys all over the world saying the same, so very good, very good.
Great.
Get started.
Hi everyone. So first let me start with a question. How many of you are in a business that makes money? Okay. If you're not in a business that makes money, I'm sure that you would want to make money. Okay, how many are in digital business that makes money? Okay. The majority are still making money in the physical world, right? Our vision and our aim at Visa is to go into cashless economies. Economies where they fully rely on digital payments, whether that is in the physical store or that is in the e-commerce and internet world. And that is because digital money is much more efficient, effective, secure, and reliable, and transparent to the economy. And the other thing to keep in mind is that digital payments has to be, and I will refer to that a lot throughout my presentation, digital payments has to be secure, has to be frictionless, and also they have to be secure, they have to be frictionless, and have to be interoperable, have to work everywhere in the same way. Otherwise, we have a problem accepting digital payments, and the consumer will have a problem making the payment. And we're living in a world of mobility. Mobility, yes, the mobile device, and I'm going to refer to that a lot, but also mobility, the mobility of the consumer herself or himself. Okay, so I cannot see the screen here. I will try to see this one. It's okay. It's okay. So, we live in a digital world, right? We're in a world where WhatsApp messages, and WhatsApp is very young as a company in age, probably now exceeds all the SMSs generated by all the telcos worldwide, right? So this is what happens, what's happening in the digital world. In just 60 seconds, Amazon is making $200,000, right? 2.78 million videos on YouTube. And the other thing is that we're seeing adoption rates being much more faster. Gone are the days where we needed 10 or 15 years for a new technology to make it to mass adoption. We're in a world where in a couple, 2 or 3 years, a new technology, a new startup can make it into mass adoption and mass consumer usage. This is how fast YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter made it. Like, we're talking about 5 years and less. The other fact is that mobile is central to our everyday life. In everything that we do, this device is being with us. Whether it is entertainment, information, search, health, that device, we're relying on it. 77% of consumers, if they forget the mobile at home, they go back to pick it up. And on average, the consumer take that device 150 times a day. If you do the math, if you're good at math, every like 5 minutes maybe you take and look at that mobile device for one reason or the other. The other thing that's happening is that this trend into the move of digital is being obviously noticed by several industries, one of which of focus that I'm going to talk more about is fintech, right? So fintechs are basically providing the traditional banking industry that we used to know in the digital world in an unbundled way. There are fintechs operating as banks just in mobile, fintechs operating in digital payments, marketplace lending, robo-advisors for wealth management. So even wealth management, relying on big data, relying on social media in order to advise consumers. So fintechs are everywhere. And like, if you just look at the last year, 50 billion were invested in fintech in the last 5 years, 40% of which was only last year. And the fintech term grew 1,300% on Google last year only. So that's the kind of attention we're talking about. Now, when we look at mobile today represent more than 50% of the internet traffic. Last month, mobile exceeded any other media in terms of internet traffic worldwide. But when we look at commerce, payments on mobile, it's growing very fast. Like it's multiplying in terms of from one year to the other. But we're still not on that 50%, right? We're still not using that device that we use for everything. We're still not using it for payments as much as we use it for the other stuff that we do with it. Why? Lots of consumers mention security or mention friction in the transaction because the screen is getting smaller, and with a small screen, payments is getting more difficult. Yet the good news is that the industry is noticing that and is solving these challenges. Social media platforms are evolving as shopping platforms. Why? Capturing the consumer, transforming the consumer interaction into a commerce transaction at the moment of interest. So they are introducing buy buttons that reduce that friction. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all of them are introducing pay buttons. Why? Again, capturing the consumer at the moment of interest. When the consumer is interested, we need to complete the transaction. It's about conversion. How can we convert that transaction into a payment, making revenue? And not only in the digital world, we're seeing even in the physical world, emergence of new purchasing experience. Contextual shopping, right? Because you have that mobile device, because that mobile device knows a lot about you, because you're logged into your social media, you have the mobile location of where you are, and you are in a place, you get advices. And guess what? Technology is evolving to a stage where once you get that push advice, probably you just tap that mobile, as easy as that, and you complete the transaction. We're seeing buttons like Amazon Dash buttons. I'm not sure if you're aware of them. Just one button you stick at home, for example, at the washing machine, and with one click, you complete a transaction from Amazon. As easy as that. That's how payments should be seamless in the transaction. And where is the world heading? With the Internet of Things, every device is getting connected to the Internet. And with that, every device is a potential opportunity to capture a payment transaction. Every device can be a device that accepts or initiates payment. Again, capturing at the moment of interest, capturing the consumer, completing the payment transaction at the moment of interest. All these devices could become devices that can accept payments. This is where the world is heading. All right, so we as Visa, you all know Visa as probably that plastic credit card. But when our vision is that, okay, consumers use Visa in the physical world probably without even thinking what's going on in the background. It's as easy as swiping a card. Our vision is that we want to make digital payments in the digital world as easy, as secure, and as interoperable as they are in the physical world. Payments should be so simple, so seamless, in order to grow commerce, digital commerce, in order to go back to the stat that I showed you before, mobile should also be the #1 device for payments as well. So, for us to take that plastic card to digital, keeping it secure, keeping it interoperable, it works everywhere globally the same way you're used to do. Well, we have to do that keeping the standards of Visa. But we have to do that also across all form factors, whether it's e-commerce, m-commerce, in-app, or in-store. And for that, we came up with the token standard, the Visa token standard. This is now an EMV global standard. And we upgraded VisaNet. What's the Visa token standard? Basically, it is to allow the security that we're used to in the physical world go into the digital world. And what happens in the digital world, if it's tokenized with Visa, is that the card number that you're used to see is switched and hidden by what we called a token that gets stored at the merchant side. And that token is just a representation of the card. If for one reason or another, that token that's stored probably in an Internet of Things device or in a mobile device or at a site of a merchant that accepts card on file, if for one reason or the other that number gets compromised, VisaNet doesn't allow that number to work in a different domain than it is originally issued for. So it's domain specific. That's the token standard. We've upgraded VisaNet and we started rolling out Visa token service globally, starting with the mobile use case. We enabled this country, Lebanon here, is part of the countries that we enabled on VisaNet for the Visa token standard, which allows some use cases to start showing up. What are some of the use cases of Visa token service? One very initial case is mobile tap to pay. Apple Pay is enabled by Visa token service. Secure, frictionless, easy to use. With one tap of a mobile, you complete the transaction in the physical world here, but it's a digital payment in the physical world. Android Pay the same, Samsung Pay the same, and close to this country in the UAE, Emirates MBD also launched their own payment app, which also then made their mobile banking app a payment app as well. You can tap your mobile on a POS machine at the store in order to complete a payment transaction. You don't have to take out the physical plastic card. Your mobile is always with you. You can complete the transaction this way. Moving forward into the digital world, again, consumer going into mobile means smaller screens. Smaller screens forms, long forms of fill your address, fill your credit card information, fill your name. We had to go away from that, and that's why we introduced Visa Checkout. Again, Visa Checkout, a digital payment service that's fast, simple, and secure in the digital world. So you get to, so that consumer get used to, when I see Visa Checkout, my information is already stored there. In order to complete the payment, similar to how in the physical world you swipe the card, in the digital world you just swipe the Visa Checkout button. Probably you need to authenticate with your fingerprint, depending on the use case. But that's it. This is the vision. This is where the industry should go in order to grow that digital payments and to enable businesses that are starting on the digital world to make money on digital, because there's friction that's really impeding this. It's limiting the growth of digital commerce and e-commerce and m-commerce, and this is what we're working on to resolve. The third pillar is push payments. Again, push payments enabling other types of use cases, like I want to pay X of people or Y of people directly, person-to-person payments from one card to the other. Again, it should be as easy as one click. Or disbursements, if you want to disperse money for the masses, so that's one-to-one payments. Again, Visa Direct here enable that kind of payments. Or consumer to merchant in the case where we have many merchants, right? The mobile device becomes the acceptance device. You accept money, you accept digital money on your mobile device. The last thing that I want to talk about is Visa Developer Platform. As Visa innovates globally, what we don't want is that to limit the innovation to global rollout, which gets into sequences and which gets into global solutions. What we want is localized innovation to fit every region and with faster pace to market. That's why we opened up VisaNet, the edges of VisaNet, and we launched the Visa Developer Platform. So now Visa is not anymore about end-to-end services that probably we just offer to financial institutions, but Visa has a set of APIs that any developer, any startup here in Lebanon or anywhere in the world can just go to the Visa Developer Platform and leverage VisaNet capabilities at an API level. So you can insert and program within the merchant site whatever APIs you might need. Some of these APIs include CyberSource payments, Visa Checkout that I talked about, Visa Direct, merchant location, merchant offers, transaction control, a number of APIs, I think around 150 or so APIs for entrepreneurs on the room, developers in the room. I urge you to go to the Visa Developer Platform and have a look at what capabilities you can leverage there. So I'll end with that. With Visa Developer Platform, what we're aiming for is faster innovation, especially here in Lebanon, where the market is very well known with the scale of the developer community. That Visa Developer Platform provides you an opportunity in order to bring payments into your solution, building together co-development, innovating with Visa, leveraging Visa expertise in order to make payments frictionless, secure, and efficient. Thank you, everyone. I think I still have a couple of minutes or so if anyone has any question. Yes. Sorry. Blockchain. All right. Blockchain is the technology that was very well known as the technology behind Bitcoin. But blockchain evolved to become a technology that has huge potential in the financial ecosystem in general. Lots of fintechs and we as Visa are experimenting on blockchain. It has to do a lot in terms of efficiency of the back end. How can we make the back end of the Visa offerings of lots of contractual settlements, lots of back end processes much more efficient because it leverages the ledger, the distributed ledger concept. Yes. Our only competitor is cash at Visa. We compete with cash. Everything that takes payment from a cash form factor into digital form factor is a partner of Visa. Yes?
Just most of your document focused on the retail front, and most of your document focused on the retail front and
Yes.
how to pay for things. And I was just wondering why not part of your deck wasn't dedicated towards innovation and things like using Visa payment solutions for things like salary payments, e-government, that sort of thing. Is it because you think it's still too far-fetched in this part of the world, or it's too bureaucratic, or is it that it was simply the focus of your document?
Not really. I didn't focus enough in the way I presented, but push payments, I had a slide on push payments, has to do with government disbursements, for example. card to card. You want to pay masses. How do you distribute this money, right? One very easy way is to push the money to the masses. With a Visa card at one end and the other end, you can do that digitally very easily and very conveniently. And Visa is another example, one-to-one payments. Think of bill split in a restaurant. Again, you can have apps. You can develop an app leveraging the Visa Direct APIs, which are available at the Visa Developer Platform, that has all the front-end interface, and at the back end, you split the bill among a group of friends because you're paying a single bill at a restaurant. Like, examples and innovation that can come up is infinite. It's really about what the entrepreneurs, what the developers solve for, and then leverage the capabilities of Visa now. Okay, thank you.